Good morning, Tuesday. So this is a day trade video, and like I said yesterday or last night when I was doing my update, waiting for the market to make its decision on where it's going, and for me to feel a good place to get in. And so far, I don't feel like getting in. Of course, it's going to be a short position. I'm going to buy some put options, but right now this is the Russell, and the Russell's kind of just sitting there. Same with the Dow. It's pretty much in this little balance area right here. But the Nasdaq and the ES are moving. They're just trying to decide where to go. It feels like I'm going to be buying some put options, but I'm going to wait right now. I'm just going to wait till this kind of settles down, and then I'll buy in. But right now, so far, there's nothing. Just waiting for that good feeling. Early today, the market started coming down. Looks like it was coming down kind of strong, and this started coming down too. They were all moving down, especially the Nasdaq. It made this new low right here in the 5-minute chart, but somehow it just did not feel right. And of course, I always get in with a good feeling, a feeling like this is a good, the trade's got to be in a 90% range, meaning that it's 90% sure, within 90%. It could be 95% or even close to 100, but it just doesn't feel like that right this minute. So I'm waiting for that. Last night I did mention it'd be ideal if it came up here. I don't know if it's going to come up that far. We'll see, because this looks like it's kind of balancing here. Same with the Russell. So we'll see if that can do that, because it's at the bottom of its balance area, and so is the Nasdaq. But both the Russell and the Dow don't seem to agree. It seems like it's kind of pretty heavy in here. So I'm going to wait, and then I'll decide where I'm going to get in. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get in today at least one time, but so far at this moment, nothing. I'm just waiting for this thing to kind of calm down, and then we'll see what's going to happen. When I do enter a position, I'm going to buy some put options that are going to expire in 1 or 2 days. And I'm only going to enter in when I feel like this market is going to go down in a big way. So far, nothing. All right, I just purchased some March options. They're going to expire in 2 days, so I am going to get out today. I just feel like this market is really weak right now. I feel like the ES has already attempted to go up. It's just been balancing in this area for over an hour, and it just feels pretty weak right here. And same with the Nasdaq. It's just, I don't know. And the Dow looks like it's starting to come down, and looks like the Russell's coming down too. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this. I'm in this for just today. So let's see if this market starts heading down now. And if it starts breaking here, I'm going to go into another chart, and I can show you a larger view of what's going on. All right, the market is actually going down in a big way here. And you can see the Russell right here and the Dow are both going down too. So when they're all going down at the same time, this is a good sign that we have some what they call weakness. I call it strength, as far as strength going down. I don't see any weakness in the market really. I know we're all trained to trade up and not down, but on down I see a lot of strength going down. A lot of power and force here. So like I mentioned last night's update, that the market, this is the SPYs by the way, when the market comes down, if it comes down to this line, if you look at last night's update, then that's probably a good exit for me, but I'll see and I'll try to feel what that's doing. If these continue to go down, then it might even just blow past this. And then I want to get out before it starts to retrace, because markets always retrace, unless this is a total trend day, which I had mentioned that we only get maybe two trend days a month. This could be it, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't know. I have to go strictly by feeling, and I'll have to see how this feels if it blows past here. So the market's pausing a little bit here and here, here and here, and that's normal for markets, whether they're going up or down, to do a little pause. Of course, this is very important right here, because if the market starts to break down, the Russell starts to break down below this line, and the Dow starts to break down below this line, then there's a lot of momentum is going to start building, and it's just going to start going right through this. So we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes. I want to point out that you feel really good about your position, meaning that you don't have any anxiety over that. So probably the best way to do that is to trade small. In this way, if you feel like you're only going to lose $100 or $2, not a big deal. But if you're in a larger position where you feel like you could lose thousands of dollars, and of course that can create some anxiety. So you want to make sure that the position you're in is pretty sure. You know, like I said, I like to trade when I'm about in the 90% range, where I feel like this trade is going to go in that direction. There's about a 90% chance that it's going to do that, or within 90, could be 95%. Also, you don't want to be too glued to the screen, because the markets do go up and down. That's just how they work. So you might want to distract yourself a little bit, maybe listen to some music. Just don't be so focused on every tick. Otherwise, that can drive you crazy. So you got to be very careful. This is a very psychological and emotional game. And actually, the only thing or person that you're dealing with is you. You know, you're not, the markets are going to move, and you're just basically going in a direction of the market. But it's you by yourself. So you're just, if you're battling yourself, then you got to get past that. And it's, like I said, it's only you. So you got to be in a good position. You got to be in a good environment. And that's the reason why I don't trade in front of people, because I just can't, I won't be able to feel what I feel now as far as entry point or exit. Okay, so the market's deciding what it wants to do, so we'll sit and we'll wait. Also want to point out that the timing is right. You know, the market's already, usually the first hour it's kind of jumping up and down, and after that then it starts to decide where it's going to go. You know, hour or two, sometimes 2 hours. So it's already 7:41 right now, Pacific Standard Time. So the market's already been open for over an hour, and I think it's already pretty much made its decision where it's going to go. So we'll see. I mean, the market could turn around, but you got to remember that we still have a whole day to trade. So the market usually doesn't go in one direction right away. Because this is a buy-sell game. Like I said, unless this is a trend day, which is not very uncommon, like only about twice a month, then of course then it just keeps going down and down and down. So because the market has paused right now, that means that it's getting ready for the next direction, which the next direction is probably going to go in a pretty good way, you know, up or down. So we'll see where that's at. All right, here's something else you can do. This is what I do. I try to not be glued to this screen, and you can put your alerts in like I did here, and then just walk away as long as you're in the vicinity, and you can hear your alerts go off, and just go do stuff. You want to be distracted as opposed to being so glued to every tick that's moving. It's just going to drive you insane, and so you don't want to do that. You can listen to music, something that's inspiring, just whatever. You don't have to be here, because the markets are going to do its thing, and you don't have to watch it, because you're only concerned about two things. One, market going down, and then when to get out, and also if the market goes back up, you have to decide whether you're going to get out and take a loss, or you think that this market's just going to turn around and come back down. You stay in your position. These are the only two things that you would be concerned about. So right now, I've got my alerts set here. I'm going to go in the back. I can hear the alerts when they go off because I'll have my phone, and I don't need to watch this. And then I'm going to listen to some music. Okay, so what's the market doing here? With the SPYs, it's building a balance area right in here. And same with the ES, there's another little balance area right here. In fact, I'll just draw one in. So we got a little balance area in here. And as you know, that's how I trade these little balance areas. Another one right there. So it's in this area, and like I said before, once it starts breaking out, and if it breaks out with force, that's a direction that it's going to go in. Same thing with this. Looks like it's at the very top of its balance area right now. And these markets, the Dow and the Russell almost looks like it's just sitting there. It's not doing anything at all. All right, so my alert was just set off right here. The market looks like it's headed back up, but like I said before, that might not mean that. It might just mean that it's, these balance areas aren't always perfect. Of course, you're going to get some poke throughs in any time frame. And so this could be just a poke through, and then it'll come back down, or it could be could start a trend going up. So this is what we have to decide what's going to happen here. So far I'm not doing anything. I don't see this as anything that's to be concerned about, because I'm just going to wait. I'm already used to these moves. Like you have here, here's a support line, but you got all these lines that poke through, but yet they came back up. So if this is a downtrend here, then this market will just turn around and start coming back down. And the good thing about this too, when they start poking through and they fail, then it looks like the next direction is down. Now that's if the market's trending down. If the market's trending up, different story. If it pokes through, that means that it's probably going to start coming through. But I believe this is a downtrend, so we'll wait and see. So it looks like the SPYs had an attempt up, and then it failed and it came back down. So I see this as very positive, only because when it makes an attempt like that, there's a couple things here. We've got a downtrend for one thing, and some of these markets are at the very top, and that would include the Dow Jones is very close, at its very top of its balance area. So it could poke through, but it just gives it that incentive to go down as opposed to going up. All right, so the SPYs actually set off my other alert because it's going up. Same thing with the NASDAQ going up. Russell's just sitting there, almost flatlining. And the Dow, the same thing. There's not much going on with these two markets, so still not going to make a move yet as far as getting out of my position. I'm staying in my position because I just don't see any confirmation from these two indexes. If obviously we've got a downtrend here, same thing here, downtrend, but if this thing starts to fail up in here and starts coming down, the same thing with this, starts to fail and starts coming down, then it's going to increase or improve the strength of this coming down. So for this to get stronger, these indexes right here, these two need to start moving up, and this needs to move up above this line in order to kill this downtrend. Same thing with this. This needs to come up above this line to kill the downtrend. But so far the trend is still intact, and this looks like it's just a basic retracement for me. So the only thing about this, if you have a position which you bought into here, I bought somewhere into here I think, then you're probably in the negative right now, not by much, it's a couple $100. Then you're okay. But if you're going to wait till it actually comes up here and break out and just decide to get out, well, then you're going to be down quite a few bucks. But if you did get in up here, which I wouldn't have done that, then you're still safe. So this is part of how you play this game. So this is why you have to almost feel like you know where this market's going to go. Okay, so it's about 2 hours. Market's been trading about 2 hours now, and so far it's kind of come up here, and it's pretty much sitting here, but it has come up from its low, and the same thing with the NASDAQ. And the Dow has come up a little bit, but you know, the Dow Jones is only up 50 something points. It's really nothing for the Dow. It should be up at least 200-300 points, and 50 points is nothing. It's basically just channeling here. It's in its balance area, and the Russell is pretty much flatline. You know, it's pretty unusual for it to do that. It's got to make a move sometime. It can't just stay flatline. So because of these two indexes, I'm staying in my position. I'm down a little bit, not much. It's a couple $100. And even though the NASDAQ and ES has been trying to poke up, still don't see any strength going up. So I'm staying in my position, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, it looks like we're a little over 2 hours into trading, and the SPYs came up quite a bit. Didn't hit this point yet, and it looks like I got a little reaction from the Russell and also from the Dow. So Dow looks like it's hitting its top here. So it looks like it's pretty much topping out. Same thing with this thing, is not moving within, it's really in a tiny range. It's plus 3 points. And I've seen the Russell move 20, 30 points. And this is just like nothing, just sitting here. Same thing with the Dow. It's up 77 points. Still, that's nothing for the Dow. It's like it's basically sitting there. And while the S&P and the NASDAQ are moving, but not really a lot. It's pretty much now created this larger balance area right here, where now it's at the very top of that balance area. I can draw that in. Now it looks like it's basically in that balance area there. Same thing with this NASDAQ right there. So now we just wait and see where this market's going to go. Not like your typical day trader that's in and out that often. I don't like to do that. I like to get in and just wait till the market hits my point and then get out. I'm not going to be sitting here all day long just waiting for just in and out, in and out. I'd rather just get into a position, put quite a few dollars in, and then get out when that market hits that point, and then I'm out. And that could be equivalent to somebody day trading maybe 5 times in a day. So that's my strategy. Okay, so I'll check back with you in a couple of minutes here. One more thing, if you want to get into a position, this actually would be a good place to get in going shorting the market right here. And the reason why I mention that, because if the market does come up above here and you get out, you take a small loss. But up here, this seems like it's at the top of this balance area. This is at the top. This is pretty much at its top. And the Russell's not really moving. So this would be a good short position. Like I said, market goes up and you can get out with a small loss. All right, we're in 4 hours of trading here, and market looks like it's starting to move. You can see the Russell has broken down past its two lines of resistance support. Same thing with the Dow. Nasdaq's getting close, and the SPYs, or the ES, S&P has broken down. So we'll see how far this goes. Again, I'm watching the Russell. Now the Russell and the Dow look like they're leading the way, and these should start following. So in the 4 hours of trading, this market basically stuck in here. So you'll probably, if you follow me, you'll notice I'm a different type of trader, day trader too. You know, after 24 years, you kind of learn how these markets work. A lot of people, I think, the way they lose, traders, I call them retail traders, anybody who's traded less than 20 years. Of course, there are exceptions. But what happens is they set these risk management of either 10, 20%, or let's say $200, let's say a dollar amount, or $300. And I think, you know, I think that's okay if you're starting out, you can do that. For me, I don't set those kind of risk management, because if I would have done that here where I got in, then the market came up here, I would have had to get out again and notice the market's getting, and then I get back in. And so that's what traders do. They get in and then they get out because it's got to their definitive stop loss, and then they get back in. So they're chasing the markets. For me, I have to know, at least believe, where these markets are going. So if the market comes down here, it comes here, I'm not worried about it. I was minus here, you know, and right now I'm in a plus, of course. But this is part of trading, that this is through experience, and that's why I don't set those kind of parameters for risk management, because I think they're really dangerous, and it makes you trade more often. And so I only trade maybe once, maybe twice a day, day trade. But what I do is I pour a lot of money into it. And I know that's against the rules too, but I do that because I'm pretty sure that's where the market's going to go, at least 90%. And if I'm wrong, yeah, I'll get out and I'll take a loss, but I like to make sure it's at least 90%. And so far, so good. It's been working for years, so I'm sticking to this plan. So, okay, I'm going to pause this again. I'll check back with you to see maybe if I get out of the market or when I get out of the market. All right, I sold out of my position because I feel like this market already close to 12, an hour and a few minutes left. So it doesn't look like it's going to continue down at this point. So anyway, close out my position. And that's where I'm at right now. I did have a gain, but very small. So that's it. So wait for tomorrow. So here's a summary of what happened today. I got in the market somewhere around this area, and the market went down. It came up. I stayed with my position. Then it went all the way down, and it came up. And I noticed that it was just going to start going up instead of down. So I sold out, and I made a couple bucks. Didn't make much. Today was not a big day for trading because it wasn't there wasn't a lot of points, a lot of point gain for today. It wasn't ideal for day trading, but anyway, it is what it is. And so of course the market continued, and then now it's the overnight trading. It's still going up, which is a good thing for tomorrow. So tomorrow's plan is what? Tomorrow's plan is it'd be really nice if this market came up in here, kind of settled down. Again, that would be the top. Let's see. That was a 5-minute chart. This is a 30-minute chart, so it'd be really nice if it came back up here and then came down. So what happened was this, I've drawn this line here, I think a couple days ago, and it just shows the trend for the short-term trend is up. Of course, the long-term trend is down. But right now, I'm just paying attention to this trend line, and it's and it meets this resistance up here. So it's kind of in this apex here, and eventually it's going to break down. I believe it's going down. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow might be the day where that happens, Wednesday, so that's possible because that's going to take it way into this area right here. So if it breaks down, then that should be a pretty good downturn right there, and it should be a really good trade also. So my plan for tomorrow, I'm going to wait and see where this market is in here. Of course, I always wait for balance areas, whether they're big ones or small ones. I look at different time frames. Like I said, this is a 30-minute chart. We got a 4-hour chart, and I always look at that. And it looks like if it comes up and hits this top, pretty big top here, it's going to turn around and go down. If you look at a daily chart, that's it right there. Eventually it's going to come down, but how far is this going to be strung out before it does that? I don't know. It could come down here and bounce around for a couple weeks before it comes down. So I'm not paying attention to that as far as a day trade, because this is a day trade video. So we go back to the 5-minute chart. So again, this is that line there. This is that diagonal line. And if the market comes back up here, in the morning, we'll see what happens with market sentiment, and then that would be an ideal place to short. And then I'll get in with some more put options. So again, I did get out of the market, and I did have a small gain, nothing to write home about. But as I learned in trading years ago, that if you can even break even, just breaking even in trading, be consistent with that, that's a huge milestone. I mean, that's like, that's where most traders don't even do that. They just take losses, and then finally they just give up. But if you can be consistent, just break even, that's a big deal. And then you can start making money from that point on. Okay, another key point here is everything I just told you here. I have a journal, and I write in my daily trading journal, and I write everything that happened today, and I write about what I feel like the possibilities of where the market's going tomorrow, and then I have my plan all written out. And that only takes a few minutes. It doesn't take very long. So important to have a day trading journal, or any kind of journal for trading. Also, it's important to note that the way I enter the market in day trades, I do the same thing on all time frames, even on a daily chart if you're going long term. I always trade using balance areas. I look at momentum, I look at trend. It's exactly the same. The only difference is the time frame. You know, with the 5-minute chart, of course, things are faster, they move faster, and so I have to be in and out that day. And as opposed to longer term, you can stay in and you can just write out these waves of going up and down. With the day trading, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that market goes in my direction pretty much immediately, and then I write it until it starts to turn around, and then I get out, and then I'm pretty much done for the day. Difference between me and other traders is I put a lot of money into a trade because I make sure it's about 90% that it's going to go in that direction. So I put a lot of money into that. So the amount of money that I make in just one trade, even with just 10, 20, 30 points, let's say on the ES, is probably equivalent to what the day traders make during that whole day of trading, going in and out sometimes 10 times a day. And I don't know, it's kind of risky what I think they're doing, but I used to do that too. Anyway, so that's my strategy. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.